Hey YouTube, TCG Nerd for Life here. Today what I have for you is a deck profile on the 2011 World Championship Megazone deck. This deck placed first in the junior division of 2011, so it's a pretty good deck. I picked it up from, I can't remember the name of the website. I'll put the link in the description if I can remember. But yeah, it's a pretty fun deck. I've play tested it a few times. It runs pretty smoothly, so let's get right into it. This deck runs 4 copies of Yanma, and it runs 3 copies of Yanmega, one of the 2 most important Pokemon in the deck. Yanmega is pretty good. It has 110 HP. Its Pokebody Insight allows him to use his attacks for no cost if you and your opponent have the same hand size. Linear Attack does 40 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon, and Sonic Boom does 70 flat. So that's pretty good. This deck runs 2 Horsies, 1 Seadra, and 2 Kingdras. Kingdra's also pretty nice for this deck. He's not one of the main parts, but he's still useful. He has 130 HP. His Pokepower Spray Splash, pardon me. Once during your turn, you may put 1 damage counter on one of your opponent's Pokemon. So that's not a bad power if you have it sitting out on the bench. Another Pokemon, Pachirisu, there's just 1 copy of him in this deck. He's not too bad. His ability is Self-Generation. It allows you to take 2 energy from your hand and put it onto him. And his attack Shocking Bolt does 50 for 2, and you have to put all energies attached to Pachirisu in the Lost Zone. So it might not be too bad for a quick knockout, but other than that, you know, like I said, it just runs 1 copy. So then this deck runs 3 copies of Magnemite, 2 Magnetons, and 3 Megazones. This is the other half of the main set of this deck. This card is great. It has 140 HP. Its Pokepower is Magnetic Draw. You can draw until you have 6 cards in hand. And its ability Lost Burn does 50 damage times the number of energy, lightning energy you put into the Lost Zone. And the nice thing about Lost Burn is you can take those energy off any of your Pokemon. You know, like if you have another Megazone benched, you can toss his energies too. So that's pretty nice. 1 Cleffa and 1 Tyrogue. Now, they have shit HP, but their abilities are pretty good. Their attacks cost no energy, and they put them to sleep automatically, which would be a bad thing, except for their Pokebodies are called Sweet Sleeping Face. If they are asleep, then they receive no damage, so if you can get a quick little hit in with Tyrogue for 30, or Eek lets you shuffle your hand and draw 6 cards, so it's basically like a Professor Oak. So if they stay asleep, they're pretty useful, but it can also backfire. If they stay asleep too long, then you can't get them out of the zone, or they might become an easy prize, so you have to watch it. We'll move on to the trainers and whatnot. There are 1 Switch, 4 Pokemon Communications. This card's pretty nice. It lets you put a Pokemon from your hand on top of the deck and search out another one and put it in your hand, so if you need a Megazone or a Yanmega, it's pretty nice. 3 Junk Arms. Toss 2 cards into the grave from your hand. You get to take an item or a trainer card back to your hand. 3 Rare Candies. This card's really nice for this deck because it lets you drop Yanmega and Megazone really fast if you have them in your first opening hand. 4 Pokemon Reversals. This card's also pretty good. It helps with Yanmega if you need to switch out and hit the weaker targets. If you can't finish them off with Linear Attack, you can go for Sonic Boom. Funny thing, actually, I read about in the tournament, one of the players used the wrong attack and it actually ended up costing him the match. He was a good sport about it, but I kind of feel shitty for him that the judge was so anal about it, because what happened in the match is he only got out the L and E, like, pretty much, it was kind of like leh, but the judge ruled it that he used the wrong attack, so he kind of got screwed on that, but I don't know. 2 Copycats. This is one of the most important supporters for this deck because of Yanmega. You shuffle your hand into your deck, and you draw cards equal to your opponent's hand, so that's a really good card for Yanmega. The other main supporter, which really helps Yanmega, is Judge. This deck runs 3 copies of that. Each player shuffles their hand to their deck and draw 4 cards, so that evens it out really quick. This deck runs 3 Professor Oak's New Theory. Like I said, Cleffa is kind of like a free Professor Oak. And the last supporter is, Pokemon Collector. You get to take up to 3 basic Pokemon and put them into your hands. So if you always got to have basics on the bench. So if you kind of have a dead hand, maybe you only get 1 basic in the beginning and you draw this card, this could really help you out. And this deck it just runs 11 electric energy. Like I said, I've play tested it a few times, and 11 seems to actually be a really good number because the only Pokemon you're using energy for is Megazone or maybe Pachirisu, but I really doubt it. So yeah, that's the Megazone deck. It seems to work out really well, so that's all I have for you today. Like always, comment, rate, subscribe, and until next time, see you later.